Today, it's a team of league leaders versus a team of injured players. The Broncos will represent the league leaders, featuring the players currently leading the NFL in major categories this season. The Giants will represent Team Injured, made up of players who've been on the IR or missed significant time in 2025. Both teams will compete in a collection of challenges in minigames, practice mode, franchise mode, and a head-to-head matchup to decide the winner. Starting with the league leaders, at quarterback, it's Drake May. He leads the entire NFL in passing yards through the first 12 weeks of the season. He's only an 87 overall, but he's playing like a legit MVP candidate this year. Backing him up is Matthew Stafford, who currently leads the league in passing touchdowns. At running back, Jonathan Taylor headlines the group. He's leading the NFL in both rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. He's joined by James Cook, Christian McCaffrey, and Reggie Gilliam at fullback. At wide receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba leads the way. He's been absolutely torching defenses for over 1,300 receiving yards so far. Behind him are George Pickens, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, and Drake London. At tight end is Trey McBride and Tyler Warren, both having breakout seasons for their teams. And protecting Drake May up front, Garrett Bowles, Quentin Nelson, Creed Humphrey, Quinn Miners, and Penei Sewell, the top graded offensive lineman according to PFF. On defense, Myles Garrett leads the front as the NFL sack leader with 18. He's showing why he's a Defensive Player of the Year frontrunner. He's joined by Brian Burns, Jeffrey Simmons, Cam Hayward, Quinnen Williams, Will Anderson Jr., and Danielle Hunter. At linebacker, we have Jordan Brooks. He's leading the NFL with 125 total tackles so far. Alongside him are Bobby Wagner, Jack Campbell, and Cedric Gray. In the secondary, Derek Stingley Jr. will be CB1. He's allowing just a 41.2% completion percentage, the best among cornerbacks. He's joined by Quinyon Mitchell, JC Horn, Jamel Dean, and Nishawn Wright. At safety, Kevin Byard holds down free safety with 5 interceptions this year. And Talanoa Hufanga will be the strong safety. And rounding things out, Cameron Dicker and Ryan Rakow will handle kicking duties. Now, for Team Injured, leading the way is Joe Burrow, a 96 overall in Madden 26. Even after being on the IR since week 2. Backing him up is Jaden Daniels, who's been out with multiple injuries this season. At running back, Joe Mixon leads the group at a 91 overall. He hasn't played a single snap this season for the Texans due to a foot injury. He's joined by James Conner, Cam Scatterbo, and Jacob Johnson at fullback. At wide receiver is Tyreek Hill, who's going to be out for the rest of the season with a leg injury. Joining him on the depth chart is Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, and Travis Hunter, all on the IR this season. At tight end, it's Sam Laporta and Tucker Kraft, both on IR and unlikely to return this season. And up front, the offensive line consists of Rashawn Slater, Robert Hunt, Eric McCoy, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Lane Johnson. On defense, Fred Warner leads the way at a 97 overall. He suffered a broken ankle in week 6 and will miss the remaining of the 2025 season. Joining him at linebacker are Drew Sanders, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Mac Wilson Sr., and Divine Diablo. On the defensive line, Nick Bosa leads the group after tearing his ACL in week 3. He's joined by Dorrance Armstrong, Milton Williams, and Mikael Williams. At defensive tackle, Nnamdi Madubuike will start, and he's missed most of the year. Backing him up is DeForest Buckner and Ed Oliver. In the secondary, Patrick Surtain will be CB1. He's missed a handful of games, but he's expected to return soon. Behind him are Jalen Johnson, TJ Reed, Marshawn Lattimore, and Travis Hunter. At safety, Julian Love will start at free safety, and Deshaun Elliott will play strong safety. Both have missed an extended period of time. And on special teams, Jason Sanders and Blake Gillikin will handle kicking duties. Both squads are pretty evenly matched, so let me know in the comments. Are you rocking with the current league leaders or the team of injured stars? Let's start things off with a passing skeleton minigame as our first challenge. Whichever team finishes with the most points will take the win. Drake May and the team of league leaders are up first. On the first play, May finds a wide open Jamar Chase for a big gain. After going right back to Chase on the next play, they're right at the goal line. May quickly throws it to Pickens, who comes down with it for the touchdown. On the next drive, May tries to connect with JSN in the end zone, but it's knocked away by Jalen Johnson. After that, Drake May started making the right reads, connecting with his receivers and getting the multiplier up to 5. He remained perfect the rest of the way, and with 1 second left, he connects with Taylor underneath, breaking 1 tackle, and taking it the rest of the way for a touchdown. They finished with 9,983 points. Now, it's Joe Burrow and Team Injured's turn. He starts off by hitting Tyreek Hill for a nice pickup. On the next play, he goes underneath to Joe Mixon, who stopped just short of the end zone. But on the next play, he stays patient and hits Malik Neighbors for a touchdown. He continued to make the right reads, and with 32 seconds to go, he throws a late pass to Neighbors, who is hit hard by Derek Stingley Jr., knocking the ball out. With the multiplier reset, Burrow answers back with a touchdown to Neighbors. Burrow remained perfect, but they still don't have enough points, and on this next play, he hits Tyreek Hill in the end zone for another touchdown, and the score is up to 7,500 points. One play left, he throws it underneath to Mixon, who makes one man miss, but is then tackled. They end up finishing with 8,132 points, which is not enough, and the team of league leaders win the first challenge of this competition. The next challenge is a punt return, where each team gets 5 attempts to pick up as many yards as possible. Team Injured will start things off this time. Tyreek Hill receives a punt, goes up the middle, tries to break one tackle, but is met by another defender for an 8-yard pickup. On their second attempt, Tyreek goes to the left side, has some space, and picks up 12 yards before being tackled. Attempt number 3, Tyreek receives a punt, gets to the outside quick, he jukes one defender before being tackled, picking up 14 yards for a total of 34 yards so far. Next up is Garrett Wilson for Team Injured. He takes a punt, stays behind his blocking, and heads up the field. He manages to make one defender miss for a 15-yard pickup. On their final attempt, Wilson follows his blocks, goes to the outside once again, and he's off to the races. He's finally tackled after picking up 34 yards, bringing Team Injured's total to 83 yards. Now, it's the team leader's turn. Christian McCaffrey is up first. He receives a punt, goes up the middle, fighting one defender off for an 8-yard gain. Here comes attempt 2, goes right up the middle for about 12 yards. On their third return, the blocking breaks down completely, only gaining 3 yards for a total of 23 yards so far. They need a big return here, and Jackson Smith-Njigba takes a punt, heads to the left side of the field for a 10-yard gain. Last attempt, he goes right up the middle, but is met by a swarm of defenders for a 14-yard gain. The league leaders end up finishing with 47 yards, which isn't good enough, and Team Injured win the punt return challenge, tying this competition at 1. Next up is the goal line phase challenge, where 3 receivers from each team go one-on-one against the opposing team's top corner. The league leaders start first. Drake May throws one to the back of the end zone, and Njigba makes the catch over Surtain for the touchdown. On their second attempt, JSN has a step, but Surtain is able to knock the ball free at the last second. George Pickens is up next. He tries to get separation, but he can't, and the ball hits the ground. On attempt 4, Surtain stays right with Pickens and gets his hand on the ball to force another incompletion. Jamar Chase will take the last 2 attempts, and Surtain is right there, but Chase somehow comes down with the catch for the touchdown. And on the final attempt, Chase uses his speed to get around Surtain and makes a great catch for the touchdown. The league leaders finish the round with 3 touchdowns on 6 attempts. Now, it's Joe Burrow and Team Injured's turn. On their first attempt, Tyreek goes up for the pass, but Stingley is right there to get a hand on it. But on attempt 2, Tyreek makes Stingley slip, and Joe Burrow finds him for the touchdown. Mike Evans steps up next. Burrow throws one to the back of the end zone, caught, touchdown. 2 touchdowns already, and on attempt 4, Evan goes up for the ball, but he can't hold on to it. It's now up to Neighbors, and he has the ball in his hands, but Stingley does enough to knock it out. They need a touchdown to tie this challenge, and on their last attempt, Burrow throws the ball up, and it's intercepted by Derek Stingley Jr. The league leaders win the goal line phase challenge and take a 2-1 lead in this competition. Next up, we got the franchise challenge. Whichever team makes it the furthest through the season and playoffs will take the win. After simming the entire regular season, the league leaders finished with a 16-1 record, while a team of injured players finished with a 13-4 record. Unfortunately, they don't get a first round bye in the playoffs. Simming ahead to the Super Bowl to see if either team are still in, and no! The team of league leaders end up losing to the Steelers in the AFC Championship game, while the team of injured players earn their spot in the Super Bowl. Even though the team of injured players ended up losing in the Super Bowl, they still made it further, which means they win the franchise challenge and tie this competition at 2. The tiebreaker challenge is a head-to-head matchup played on a neutral site, and whichever team wins will be crowned the winner of this competition. Team Injured opens the game on offense. Joe Mixon takes the handoff, gets to the outside, trucks the defender, picking up about 4. Unfortunately for the team of injured players, they failed to pick up a first down and had to punt the ball away. Starting deep in their own territory, Drake May launches one down the field, and it's incomplete. On third down, May steps back, throws one up to the sideline to Trey McBride, and he's taking off. And he's still going, picking up 52 yards. A couple of plays later, May throws it underneath to CMC, who manages to pick up a first down. And on 3rd and goal, the league leaders are trying to punch it in, but Drake May is stopped well short of the end zone, and they end up settling for a field goal. The rest of the first quarter turns into a defensive battle as a team of injured players come up with a big turnover. But shortly after, Joe Burrow threw an interception of his own. After a deep catch by George Pickens, Drake May threw a perfect pass to Trey McBride for a touchdown. Even though the team of injured players managed to kick a field goal, the team of league leaders answered back, this time with a receiving touchdown by Jamar Chase. Early in the second half, Tyreek scored a touchdown for the team of injured players to cut the lead back down to 7. But that didn't last very long as Jonathan Taylor took the handoff, broke multiple tackles, and took it 54 yards for a touchdown, reclaiming a 14-point lead. Right at the start of the fourth quarter, Joe Burrow finds Tyreek Hill in the end zone to cut the lead back to 7 points. But the scoring didn't stop there. Drive after drive, touchdown after touchdown, and the team of injured players trailed by just 8 points. They desperately need to stop on this drive, but they can't stop Jonathan Taylor, who picks up 19 yards. The team leaders felt unstoppable as Drake May threw a dart to the back of the end zone where George Pickens makes an incredible grab in traffic. With Joe Burrow looking to get his team back in the game, he throws the ball over the middle, intercepted by Bobby Wagner. And that's it. The team of league leaders hold on and win the head-to-head challenge, and more importantly, win the entire competition. If you like this battle between league leaders and injured players, you should definitely click on this video right over here. I think you'll really enjoy it. Make sure to click on it.